My name is Mr. Cleophas. Mr. Cleophas is a lecturer at a regional college. Regional college is located along Moi Avenue, Nairobi, Kenya. That is in a building called Commonwealth House, 50th floor. Come there, find me. We just have maybe a short conversation or we say hi to each other. And today, I want to simplify these auditing and assurance. It is very important to have the knowledge of what is auditing because for the accountants, they are going to work with auditors. Auditor will come and ask some questions to the accountant. It is important for the accountant to have the knowledge on what entails auditing, so that as an accountant also you can know what exactly the auditor will come asking for. As an auditor again, you also need knowledge on what is really this auditing, because many people, they do not understand what auditing is. They think it's just about opinion only. You cannot just give a judgment without the basis of the judgment. And that's why I'm here today to explain to you how auditing takes place and what entails auditing. Today, I want to define auditing and say it is an independent examination of vouchers, books of accounts, and financial statements of an entity or organization by a duly appointed auditor in order to enable the auditor express an opinion or judgment on whether the financial statements audited gives a true and fair view. I've said it is an independent examination of vouchers, books of accounts and financial statements of an entity by a duly appointed auditor in order to enable him express an opinion on whether the financial statements audited gives a true and fair view. I cannot leave you at that point. Allow me to explain some terms I've used in the definition to make you understand what is all about the definition. The first term is independent examination. Independence of the auditor is the most important attribute in financial reporting. I've said independence of the auditor is perhaps the most important attribute in financial reporting. Independence requires the auditor to have freedom from undue influence of management and others. I've said independence requires auditor to have freedom from undue influence of management and others. So auditor should avoid any conflict of interest which can make him not to achieve the objective. We have two forms of the auditor's independence. I've said we have two forms of the auditor's independence. Number one, we have independence of mind. We have number one, independence of mind. Then we have independence of appearance. So allow me to explain the first one, the independence of mind. Independence of mind is the state of mind of the auditor. I've said independence of mind is the state of mind, is the state of mind of the auditor when carrying out an audit of financial statements, that he is an independent person. So when auditor conducts the audit, he should bear in his mind he should have in his mind that he is an independent person. That is the independence of mind. Independence of appearance, it is how auditor is perceived. I've said this is how auditor is perceived by other people or other parties while conducting an audit as an independent person. So when auditor is doing the audit, he should appear as being an independent person before the people who see him perform the audit. So that is the independence of appearance. Where auditor has close family relationship with the responsible officers of the company or with employees of the company, either by blood, he also have the close relationship with respect to friendship or business relationship. That auditor is perceived to lack independence, and auditor is required to have a reasonable degree of independence. So that's about independence. Let me cover another part of voucher, because we have said that audit is an independent examination of what? Vouchers. What is a voucher? A voucher is a support document supporting a particular transaction. I've said a voucher is a support document supporting a particular transaction. We have different types of vouchers. So whenever a transaction takes place, the document supporting that transaction, if you're paying somebody by check, then that check is the one supporting the transaction. It is a voucher. When you go to purchase commodities, you are given an invoice. That invoice is a voucher. So any document supporting any transaction qualifies to be called a voucher. Your payment vouchers, receipt vouchers, etc. Great. Let me proceed again and explain or give some examples of the books of accounts. You need to understand accounting very well for you to become a good auditor. You cannot audit what you do not know how to prepare. That is why we have said, and we need to go through the books of accounts. So we have different types of books of accounts. We can give examples. We have cash book, we have sales day book, purchases day book, we have general ledger, we also have assets registers. All those are books of accounts. You need to understand them. You go review your notes in your financial accounting notes. You will see those examples of the books of accounts which you prepare in financial accounting. Then you need to understand financial statements, because in auditing, normally financial statements, they are the subject matter. So when you're explaining financial statements in auditing, you can just say financial statements, they are the subject matter of analysis in an audit. The person with the responsibility to prepare financial statements and books of accounts, which are free from errors and frauds and any misstatement, is the management. So the management, they have the responsibility to prepare financial statements and also the books of accounts. Financial statements are prepared from the books of accounts. And where do you prepare the books from? We prepare the books from the voucher. Whenever there is a transaction, we generate a voucher. From the voucher, we prepare the books of accounts. From the books of accounts, we prepare their financial statements. So we have the voucher to support the transaction. From there, we prepare the books, then we prepare the financial statements. Then we also need to understand the appointment of the auditor, because you've said an audit is an independent examination of vouchers, books of accounts, and financial statements of an entity by the appointed auditor or by a duly appointed auditor. The appointment of the auditor should be in compliance or in accordance with the Companies Act. The Companies Act requires that each and every limited liability company, whether public or private, to have its books of accounts audited. Thus need for the auditor after incorporation of a company, because the people who are present during incorporation are the board of directors. Then the board of directors shall appoint the first auditors of the company. That auditor who has been appointed shall continue to be the auditor of the company until conclusion of the first annual general meeting of the company. In that first annual general meeting, because of the incorporation, the company has issued shares to the public, then the people who subscribe to the shares, they are called shareholders, and they are the one present in that annual general meeting or the AGM. Thus, they shall appoint the subsequent auditor of the company. That is why the subsequent auditor of the company shall be appointed by the shareholders in the AGM. And the auditor who has been appointed shall continue to be the client auditor until conclusion of the next AGM. In that next AGM, we need to appoint another auditor, meaning auditor retires after one accounting period. So in that AGM, we can just decide, let the auditor who has been holding the office continue holding it. And that is what we call automatic appointment of the auditor. An auditor shall be deemed to be automatically appointed under three circumstances. Number one, where that auditor has not where the auditor has not expressed the unwillingness to be reappointed. Number two, where the auditor has not committed any act which disqualifies him from being reappointed. Then number three, it is where no resolution has been passed in that annual general meeting appointing someone else. So that is automatic appointment of the auditor. Then we have appointment to fill in a casual vacancy. Appointment to fill in a casual vacancy. What is a casual vacancy? A casual vacancy is a vacancy arising in the office of the auditor or in the auditor's office before the annual general meeting. A casual vacancy arising as a result of the auditor's maybe incapacitation or death shall be filled by the board of directors. So the board of directors shall appoint the auditor to fill in a casual vacancy arising from the auditor's death or incapacitation. A casual vacancy arising as the result of the auditor's resignation from office shall be appointed by the shareholders. The company needs to call for what we normally call the EGM, Extraordinary General Meeting, to know why is the auditor resigning, and then they shall appoint another auditor to fill in that vacancy. We have the last one, which is the appointment by the registrar of companies. The registrar of companies shall appoint the company auditor where the board of directors, they have not appointed the auditors required. Also, where the shareholders of the company, they have not appointed the auditors required by law, and where no auditor who has been deemed to be automatically appointed. That is when the registrar of companies shall appoint the auditor. And the registrar of companies needs to be notified within 7 days after conclusion of the general meeting where no auditor was appointed. I want to explain another term like expression of opinion. We see how it comes in. Expression of an opinion is both a legal and professional requirement. This legal requirement is imposed by the Companies Act, while the professional requirement is imposed by the International Standards on Auditing. I've said the legal requirement is imposed by the Companies Act, while the professional requirement, it is imposed by the International Standards on Auditing, ISA. So it's important to have that knowledge. Now, the terms used in expressing an opinion, we normally say they give the financial statements, they give a true and fair view. I want to explain because many people, they even finish section 6 of the advanced level of CPA without understanding why, when expressing an opinion, the auditor will always say the financial statements audited, they give a true and fair view. It is very, very important to know that. then it is again challenging because using the term true and fair in one statement brings a lot of confusion. Let us understand it from this point with Mr. Cleophas here. The term true is used in relation to the income statement items. I've said the term true is used in connection or in relation to the income statement items. Why? Because the items found in the income statement, they give a true and fair, they are accurately stated. I've said it's because the items we find in the income statement, they are accurately stated. There is no estimation at all. Look at the sales which you find in the income statement. There is no estimation of sales, it is exact revenue. Rent is exact rent you paid. Electricity, it has even the invoice. Every item you'll find in the income statement, it is accurately stated, no estimation. That's the use of the term true. So items found there in the income statement, they are truly stated. Then the term fair is used in relation to the statement of financial position items, that is the balance sheet items. Why? Because some of these items, I've said some, not all. I've said some of these items cannot be ascertained with what? Accuracy due to the estimations. For example, whenever you want to determine the debtors, which is a debtor, remember, is a current asset, debtors. Now, the debtors, we must adjust the debtors value with respect to what? Provision for the bad debts. A provision is an estimation that those debtors will not pay. If it's a provision for bad debts, the debtors may not pay or will not pay. So once we write them off, we are assuming they are not going to pay. We have seen they are unable to pay. Now, that is just an estimation. The debtors may even end up paying. The ones who are termed to be bad debts, they may be recovered. That's why in a fair, you'll see bad debts recovered. You need to do the adjustment accordingly. So the items, most of them, the items which you find in the statement of financial position, they are fairly stated. That's the use of the term true and fair view. So you have been with me, Mr. Cleophas. Mr. Cleophas teaches at the Regional Curriculum Management College. Regional Curriculum Management College, I want to tell you the truth, it is doing very well. It is the best you can get, or the best college you can get in town. That is in Nairobi. We are offering the physical classes and the online classes. But I want to emphasize on the physical classes. There is a reason. Those who can attend physical classes, they are the best. Online classes, we have some challenges with our internet. We have challenges with the disturbances by our parents, by our guardians, by also the children, our siblings, etc, etc. And even by our babies or our children, that is. If you can manage to just enroll for the physical classes, the better. If you cannot enroll for the physical classes, do the online classes, they will also be helpful. We have those two programs for the physical classes and the online classes. This is one of the big colleges in town, planning to open a branch, I know, anytime from now. So please join the regional college if you want to meet me and I explain this further and to make you understand auditing. I've managed to have the best students from CASNEP. Why? Because the way I lay the foundation tells me that I can get the best, and I've always been getting the best student from my class in auditing. So please, guys, ensure that you join regional college, meet me. You can get that award by CASNEP. Even if NEC is giving an award, you can get. If your university is giving the award, or you can even end up getting a clean A in this paper. If you continue following me, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. It's a request. Grow the number of subscribers. That is what pays a YouTube channel. So that is why you'll always hear me telling you, because I'm giving this content and mostly it's for free here. Though some contents I don't post on YouTube because of some reasons, ensure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come to Moi Avenue, Commonwealth House, opposite Galitos, 5th floor. Find me there. We meet, talk, you can even have just a cup of coffee. The common of the house is just in the same building with the Highlands. So join us there. We meet, we talk. Let's meet next class. May God bless you.